Hello and good morning. So today we are going to do how to navigate and how to create menu options in the Qt. So there will be several windows and by using these menu options we could decide that what new windows we are going to open or what new windows our application is opening. But before going to any coding side, let's go through a little bit about again the usability things. So if you in here you can see two kind of navigations in application. So in here I guess it is quite straightforward. It's clear and find out that what are the possibilities to navigate on those menu options. But on the other side, if you look this is really complicated and really messy. So it's really difficult to say that if you would like to find something, where to find out that and what is the structure for that. So the left side is more or less logical and easy to find out those different options, text size and that they are okay, but in the right side it's really confusing and really good example of bad usability about the menus or the navigation. So in the next 3 slides there are 29 usability guidelines. So you could read these guidelines with your own pace, and there will be small exercise related for that. But first, take your own time and go through all these rules that has been listed here. These rules are quite easily to understand. So with the common sense, you can find out what is the idea for those rules. And while you are going through those, consider also that what could be the good example application where this rule has been fulfilled or where this rule has been working in good usability way. And when you have read all those rules and also thinking each of those rules a little bit, so you can get understanding what that means in the practice. So within your team, then pick 5 of those rules from those guideline rules. What you think it's most relevant? What think that it's for you if you are the end user? So what you think that are the most relevant for you or for your team? And then I would say that you might create might be the PowerPoint might be easiest way. So make some kind of presentation where you can explain that what is the reason behind that why you think that those 5 rules that you have picked, that why they are important for you and why you think that those are relevant. But describe your ideas, those rules, and also the reasoning behind from your side, from your team side, and create that document. So this document you are not going to demonstrate. So write the document in that way that your points could be read from that document or that presentation. So there will be not anyone explaining that, oh, you could make a video. Let's do in fact that way, that create a small video of that. Okay, so create a video. Of course, do the few slides of PowerPoint presentation that you could use with the video, and then create the video where you present your ideas and your reasoning, and save that video to OneDrive. I'll open the place there, so then that could be shared also with the other teams. So that would be that preparing exercise before the coding. Okay. In the QML, when we would like to create these menus, there are user interface that there are components called menu bar, and menu. So with those components, we can create this main menu level and then the submenu level. And of course, if you would like to create also submenu for submenu, that's possible to do. But menu and menu bar are those user interface components that could create the menu options to our window. And as for the other user interface components, there will be the Qt documentation for that. So there will be manual how to use this component. If you go to that link, there will be this menu bar manual how to use the menu bar. So it will use it's part of the quick controls, and we could create this standard type menus, and here is the code example for that. So for that upper level, option menu is created with the menu bar, and then the submenus will be created with this menu option here, and the action means that we are putting inside these brackets that whatever we are doing when that option will be chosen. And remember also include that for good usability there will be the quit option, could be the last option for the options. Even you will have the X on the right upper screen, but the quit is following the good usability rules. So it's quite straightforward to create these menu options in Qt QML. So if we would like to create the upper level menu bar here, it's the component name was menu bar, and then there will be these sub menus on the menu bar. And then when the user will choose the certain menu option, of course we would like to create some function to do something with that option or with that action. And usually it's that we are opening the new window for that, because this is our main menu, and there will be some functionalities under all of these different submenus. So when we set an on trigger event handler here between these brackets, we can create the functionality that we would like to do when this option will be chosen. And in the next, we would like to open a new window when we choose these options. So on triggered, there will be the code line which will open the new window. And for that new window, we will create the new QML file. So then we can write all the functions, all that what is happening with the new window. We could write that inside that own file that contains about this sub window that we can open from the menu options. So go to QML QRC as a point, and then add from there will be with the Qt creator. You can create a new file and create new QML file. So then this SDK understand that it's part of your project. So use that SDK option to create the new file. So in here you can click on add new file, and here you can choose the QML file and go on. So by this way the new file will be added to your project. That's why you have to, it's feasible to go through to adding with that SDK options. And then when you look this file structure on your edit window, you can see that new QML file exists on your file system. And then how to open that new window from our main window is that we will add here the file name here. So this means that we are creating the new object for our application, and we'll give that source name here. The file name is for the new component, it's QML, child QML, and then we open that as a new window, and this is referring for the ID for the new window ID, and finally we are showing that window. So by these lines we are able to open that QML file that we just earlier created. And then when we choose the option 1, the on-triggered event will happen, and that on-triggered event will then open the new window on our screen. So for your training exercise now is that create the main menu, and with main menu you should be able to open one submenu view. So try this before going forward. And when you have done this is working, so then you can go forward. But meanwhile, stop now here and go on after that when this functionality is available. Okay, now you have tried how to get these menus working. So let's now make one exercise. Earlier you did make Ohm law calculator that was all those values, voltage, current, and the resistance were able to calculate within one view, one window. But now the idea is that you create a calculator where you can separately calculate resistance, voltage, or current. So if I choose the resistance calculation, then what should I give then? Of course, is the voltage and current, and then by pressing the calculate resistance button, the value will be shown here, and same way for the voltage and current. So you can give two values, and then by pressing the calculate button, then the third value will be calculated. And remember also for this that take care that if you give a wrong kind of input, so that will be taken care. And also remember that how the significant digits will be defined in the calculation, in the physics calculations. So you will have 3 different windows are opening from here, and each window will do one of the calculation, either resistance, voltage, or current. So that is the exercise number 1. Okay, then let's go forward. So now, as you can see, there was the calculate part, but there's also the info part. So the idea is that with the info, the user could get some kind of theory part of what is the basis for the Ohm's law. So the idea is that when I open the theory options here, choose the theory menu option here. So then the window will be showing the user small theory part of that, about which explains about how Ohm's law is working. So this is your exercise 2. Create one window that will give some theory about the Ohm's law. That is the exercise number 2. And then we will add a little bit more information to our Ohm's law calculator. In earlier exercise we were adding the text info part, but it would be also nice that if we would have some kind of image that will demonstrate and explain about that Ohm's law formula, how it's working and what are the different options of that. And again, there will be manual for that in the Qt documentation. And if you open that link, there's that image QML type. It's quite easy to add the image to your view. There's the component name is image, and then only in the minimum level, minimum thing what is required is of course the part for the picture. But this is working almost same way as you were working with the icon button. So you will define image component, add image component to your window, and then define the source part for that, where the component will be available. And again, if you create the image directory under your QML main QML file, so then by tagging here and adding when you have added those image files, so then you can add existing files to your project by adding those image files from here. Then your project is able to find your image files. As you can see, there's the image directory, and under the image directory there will be this index GPG file. So that is the image file. So create the subdirectory images, and then with the source properties, you can add that your image file to your view. So this is also quite easy to add those images to your project. So the exercise 3, find some, don't take this one, take some of your own one. There are plenty of different images for the Ohm's law, so pick some of your own one and add that to your project. So then when the user will choose the formula, the image window will be opened. And that's the exercise 3. And for the Ohm's law, also there will be a lot of information in the internet, so it might be interesting that if your application could open the web page, which will give more information about the Ohm's law, so that is also possible to do. So one possibility to do that is to use this web engine view, and that requires this web engine library, and that's working basically the same way as the bringing the image. So we are using the web engine view, and then we will give the address where our web page is located. So only few lines could create to give our application to be able to open the web page. So in here we are defining that web engine view, bringing that component here, and here we will define the address that where we would like the web page to be opened. But I have to give some note for that. The web engine, if you will have a Windows machine, Windows PC, it requires that you should have this Microsoft Visual C compiler available. Otherwise that web engine library is not working, or it's not available. Or you could separately pick those source code and compile those to be available in your environment. Or it could be you could use these pre-compiled Qt kits. So these are a little bit the limitation if you will have a Windows device, and if you will have the Linux, there's supposed to be no limitations, and for the Mac environment, not that I haven't checked, but in Windows in Windows environment, it's easier. I think to add that Microsoft Visual Studio. If you don't have that available, that might be the easiest way to get this web engine library to be used. But this web engine exercise, if you will have a huge troubles with that, so then we could consider perhaps to skip this exercise if it's not working in your environment. So the exercise 4, if your environment is supporting that, so then add that web info option to your menu options, and by pressing that it will open some web page which will tell more information about that Ohm's law, and there's, for example, the scroll option supposed to be working there. And so even if this window is small, but there's the scroll option that it's supported with this web view component. So that was the part of the how to create the menus and how open the new window according to those menu options. But first, study about the usability items that I mentioned in the beginning, and create that presentation, and then go on to work with the coding side. And that usability part, that you are saving to OneDrive, and these exercises you are demonstrating next possible face-to-face teaching lessons to me. So let's agree that this formula and web info, so exercise 3 and 4 are those that you are going to demonstrate. Also, you can demonstrate the whole application at once, so we could quickly go through that. These calculations are working, and also the info part is working. So let's agree that you would create this application and you will do the demonstration where I check that calculation is working, and also the info part, at least the formula and web information is working. And that web information is optional if your environment is not supporting that. But we can check about that when you doing the demonstration for me. Okay. But have a nice time and go on with these exercises, and we'll have that face-to-face demonstration in the after a week or two.